Hey guys, welcome in. It's Ryan and Haley. We're talking about getting the most out of your listings, your open houses, your solds, your coming soons, your buyer needs by telling that story in the immediate neighborhood because we're coming in, gosh, it's going to be mid-June before you know it, and it's selling season in San Diego.
Mid-June?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought for a second,
Well,
I was
today's
like,
the 5th,
yeah, I was
so
like, I'm the one who was like, wait, yeah, I thought we were, never
It's
mind.
your birthday month,
Yeah,
girl.
it's my
Are you
birthday
already
month.
celebrating?
It's
Are
my
you already
birthday month, yeah.
celebrating?
I was like, wait, yeah. I was thinking it's going to be like July before we know it, so.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, you got to leverage whatever piece of business you have because the likelihood of people selling right now is up.
Right.
Because people move in the summertime with families, kids just got out of school. My kids just got out yesterday, promoted 8th grade. Good job, guys. And now people are looking to move. So just telling the story, you're going to run into more people that are like, yes, we have to sell.
Well, if anybody's considering it, we know now is the time where people are now going to raise their hand more likely than if it's wintertime or during the fall when the tree's up, lights are on the house, kids are in school. Now's the time where people are more likely to be like, hey, we have the time to do it. Now's the time if we're going to make a move. Let's do it.
Right.
So we have seen when people have a system in play and they can have a repeatable operating system and say, hey, this is what I do for every open house, every listing, every single just sold that I have.
Yeah.
We have seen them be able to get more of a maximum exposure for their properties, getting more people into their open houses. And they've been able to really make it repeatable so they don't have to think about it every time.
Consistent.
It's just
when
done.
I get a listing, these things happen every time. Or I'm hosting an open house.
Right.
I get an email, I get a voicemail blast out, and I door knock. Or whatever the system is, the combination of activities. And we're going to give you a menu of activities. And you plug them in and make your own, choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Choose your own activities. But the key is, like she said, consistent and systematic, because if it's haphazard effort and every once in a while effort, what are the results going to look like?
Every once in a while effort.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to be consistent effort to get consistent results.
Exactly. And so with these activities that you can do every time, like you said, though, it's kind of choose your own adventure. So it's really nice because say you're helping a family member and you really work Allied Gardens or you're down here more in central San Diego, but your family member's in Vista and they ask you to help sell their property and you're like, okay, I'll help sell your property in Vista.
Of course.
But of course, you're not going to want to do all of the marketing maybe because you probably don't want to get a ton of more activity in Vista. That's quite the
We
trek.
love Vista, but 78 is rough.
And
right?
that's quite the trek for you to be continuing to go up there.
Sure.
So you might want to be like, okay, maybe we'll just do the email and voicemail blast or the postcards and this. You can a la carte and pick and choose which one you'd want to do. That way you can still do some activity.
You can tell the seller I did this, this, and this.
And you're still getting the message out. You can still even promote it to the buyer's agents in the area. There's different things you can do, but you don't have to do everything because you're not trying to get a ton of more business in the area.
It's so funny too, because when those are the cases and people do it anyway, it's usually when they get a hit.
I know, right?
It never fails.
It is pretty funny.
Like,
too.
I got another one in Vista. Or if you're in Vista and it's Chula Vista and you're like, I guess I can do like the emails and the postcards and then I'll make some calls.
Exactly.
And wouldn't you know it, somebody says, oh God, I'm so happy you called. We have to sell our condo. Sweet.
Well, and the funny thing is, guys, so we're going to go over these different activities, different things you can do. I just spoke to an agent yesterday, or 2 days ago. Sorry, days blend together.
What is time?
What is time? Days blend together. 2 days ago, he got a $1.2 million listing, and I was like, how did you get this listing? And he said he was circle prospecting. He was calling around a listing that they had.
Whoa.
And guess what? He got another listing, and it's already in escrow under contract. And I was like, wait, Cole, so you're telling me calls work? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, shh, don't tell anybody. Nobody wants to hear that. And he was like, I know, right? And he was like, I want to do everything possible to get more in this area because now that team has 2 in that area. Ooh. So he wants to do all of these different activities to see what more they can produce because that's a great price point, 1.2, and both of those are already in escrow.
It's like if it's 1, it's an accident. If it's 2, it's a trend. If it's 3, you probably have a system around it, right? So what we're saying is whether it's your open houses, whatever activity you've got, if you've got 3 buyers for a region of Spring Valley or the coast, or you have somebody who really wants to get a fourplex in PB, whatever your buyers are, use that buyer to call all the sellers that fit the criteria and tell the story. Because like we just said, people are on heightened alert and more likely to be moving their real estate holdings right now in the summer. So just telling the story, you're going to run into more opportunities.
Right.
And then if you have a situation like this where, and we hear those stories all the time, you guys,
All
by
the
the
time.
way, proof of concept. People just sit down and do the work and do the emails, do the postcards, send a voicemail drop, and then make the calls. They get, guess what? They get results. They get interested parties. They get questions that lead to meetings. And every once in a while they get, yeah, we have to sell too. So that's why we preach it from the mountaintops, because doing the work really leads to results.
Right.
And so if you were to say, okay, I want to look at all the activities I could do and then choose my plan, where do we start?
So I would think of it, like as a menu of items or like as a checklist, right? Of what would I want to do first? I would probably think of something that would take the longest to do first.
Okay.
So, or what would take the most time, or something that would have to get out first. So probably would be postcards, right? Because those have to get in the mail.
Yeah.
Direct mail takes a little bit longer. I would think probably 5 to 7 days, maybe a little bit longer.
If you have a bulk permit, I think they have up to 13 days to get there.
So could take quite a bit of time. So I would think that would be first. I would need to check off my list if that was what I needed to do around my listing, if that was part of my marketing plan.
Yeah,
if
makes
I was
sense.
doing if I had like an open house that was going to be a mega open house that I wanted to do wedding invitation styles around, if I had a $4.4 million open house that we're doing a neighbors only or some kind of thing like that, we might want to step up those invites. So, I would think maybe direct mail, something like that, but definitely, for the just solds, just coming soon, things like that, or I have buyers in your area. Those kind of mailers, I would say, would be first and foremost getting out, because that would take the longest process to be in the mailbox.
Well, we love direct mail because you can cast a wide net, because the same amount of time is involved in 100 postcards and 1,000 postcards.
Right.
You got to order it, get it graphically designed, printed, and mail it. But you can get in front of 1,000 people with just as much time, not as much money. It's more of an investment, but as it takes the time to do 100 versus 1,000, so you more leverage there.
Well, and it's not just about the postcard, right? There's other activities that fall behind the postcard that make you stand out. But proof of concept, again, my girl Destiny, we have a listing in Point Loma. She did postcards around her listing, and she got a postcard call from a gentleman. He's this old German guy who needs to sell his condo because he needs to go into senior living. And she called him, and it's like a fixer condo. It needs work on it, but it was off a postcard call. I mean, granted, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, but it worked, and he got it. It worked.
It was the right timing.
And he called her off postcard, and she went to the property yesterday, and she called me because she had some questions about the property, but it was off just one mailer.
Well, and dude, that's proof of concept because it's tactile, it's in print, and our senior Americans are usually the ones that like to feel and touch and see the mailer or the magazine.
Yep.
They're still very much in that media, so covering multiple medias is important. What would the next thing be?
So I would say the next thing after that we would go maybe digital, right?
Digital.
So there are platforms out there. Talk to providers. You can talk to us. We can point you in those directions. But there are platforms where you can get emails for these people, of those same people that you're targeting. So I would say that same postcard I would send as an email as well to those same people. And in these platforms that you're sending it in, so if you are using your CRM like Follow Up Boss, Lofty, MailChimp, whatever you're using, Chime, they do have that unsubscribe in there. So it is all compliant on it. Check with, your provider, or check with whoever you have. But most of the time they are very compliant. I get emails from people all the time. I have no idea where they got my email from. So.
I unsubscribe and they still keep coming.
Thank you, Aloe Viore, all the things, But so that would be my next thing, would be getting something
and I
on
love
a
it
digital
again,
platform.
Scalable.
Yep.
Scalable, because it's at the same time involved in getting an email out to 100 people as 1,000 people.
Well,
so
and
you can cast a wider net.
Yeah, and I can send way more emails probably than I could even postcards, right?
Yeah.
I could probably
you could cover
send
the
1,000.
whole zip. I mean, in a postcard, maybe you get the closest 500, right?
Right.
And that at 80 cents completely done. What is that? $400.
Right.
But an email, you could send out 4,000 if you wanted.
Well, and not just emails to the neighbors too, but then doing emails to the top buyers agents in that same zip code about your property, about the open house. Because I know with different laws and different things changing, sometimes the open houses don't get on Zillow now. Don't get on Redfin.
Well, and the MLS gets a little stale quick, so we can get you buy-side production agents around your listing. It's a great place to park your listing in front of their eyeballs, because if they've closed 10 buy-sides in that region already this year, chances are they have another one.
Yeah. So I would call around, especially open houses, promote that open house to those buyers agents. So
Exactly.
I would say the digital component would go after that nicely mailed out component. So
Okay.
what would you say would be third? What would you go with?
I'd say, so we did print in the mailbox, we did digital in the email box, voicemails.
Yep.
You can use Sly Broadcast or some ringless voicemail provider that allows you to take your voice memo, your outgoing message, and drop it to hundreds, thousands of voicemails, to the cellular voicemails. It goes directly to their voicemail in like 10 minutes, right?
Right.
It takes 10 minutes to set up. We have details on how to do that. We can point you in the right direction, as Haley said. But now, I mean, you think about it, you've covered some really massive ground in terms of telling the story of this coming soon, or this open house, or this recent closing. And you're giving people a chance to see you in the mailbox, in the inbox on their email, and now in the voicemail inbox.
Right. Well, and you know, we hear it a lot. Well, Ryan, I don't want to get popped. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm saying, well, the thing is, you're not selling these people on the phone. I think a lot of us get confused when we're making these calls or we're trying to do these voicemails. We're trying to get that sale, right? Well, are you looking to buy or sell today?
Yeah.
No, that's not what we're doing. We're informing. We're just saying, hey, neighbor, we're just reaching out, letting you know about your neighbor's home, that we're going to be having an open house on this weekend. We always like to let the neighbors know, because a lot of buyers come through our neighbors.
That's right.
So if your friends or family love this neighborhood like you do, come let them know this weekend. We're there Saturday and Sunday between 1 and 2, and only one buyer can win on this. So if you've had any thoughts of selling, we're going to be there. Come on by.
And I love the human
Something like
side of it.
that.
I love the script, by the way. Excellent job. I love the human. You want to be very MSNBC reporter, very flat, just informative. Some people, when they do these voicemails, they think like, you've reached movie phone.
I know.
You know, like they think they have to go into like movie
so,
phone. Remember movie
so,
phone?
Yeah, it's so cute. Like, I love it. A lot of our agents will send them to me before that we send them out, and they'll ask me, and I have to tell. I'm like, hey, take a couple breaths before we do it. Let's relax. Let's
Yeah.
you know, we have to remember we act like we're leaving them a voicemail. Like we're like,
Right.
hey, what's up, friend? Like we have to remember, like we're talking to these people like
Just
they're
be
our
you.
homies,
Just
you know?
be you. How would you leave a voicemail for your mom or your best friend, or you know what I mean?
Somebody that you're just informing of what's going on. Like it's not. I feel like so many of us think we got to be like this robot or have it perfect and have it down, but it's just, hey, I just want to let you know about what's going on in your neighborhood, what we're doing. So we have scripts on that. We have ideas of how we would do it. So if you're curious about those kind of voicemail drops for, you know, your open houses, your just solds, I have buyer campaigns, hit us up on that. We can point you in that direction, and we can definitely help.
Well, and the menu goes on. So now, I mean, another leverage point, social media, right? You got
Absolutely.
the three big guys: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. TikTok's a good one, and whatever flavor of social you want to get out there. But people are on social media.
LinkedIn's huge too to run ads now on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people I think aren't realizing how that's such a like blue ocean strategy to run ads now on LinkedIn. So, you know, with those lists that you can get from different providers, so hit us up on that where we can point you in that direction. You can get those and you can upload them in, and you can have those custom audience lists and hit those same people or in those zip codes and target it and still market your open house, you're coming soon, you're just listed, I have buyers, whatever it may be on those platforms. So now, do you see where that power is kind of starting to compound where it's not just a postcard anymore?
Oh, yeah.
A postcard was not just sent.
No. It's multiple mediums. Wherever their attention is, you're putting yourself and giving yourself a great opportunity to be there. What do you call it? The illusion?
The frequency illusion.
Yeah, so, oh my gosh, Haley's everywhere. I got an
know.
email, I got a mailer, I got a voicemail, I saw her on Facebook and Instagram, and then what's the last thing, or one of the last things we do if we're planting all these seeds, Haley, doesn't it make sense that we're going to harvest the crop?
Right. I mean, we got to harvest the crops. If we're planting all these seeds, we're going to be completely missing the boat. We can use all the analogies, right?
Right.
But, after doing all these steps, haven't you earned the right to make that follow-up call? Because now...
Well, I don't want a cold call.
I didn't say cold call, did I?
No.
No.
What did you say?
It's a follow-up call.
Well, how is it a follow-up call? It feels kind of cold.
It's not cold at all. If you've done all of those other activities.
Okay, wait. So I sent a postcard. Okay.
I've got something in their email. I've left a voicemail. And the voicemail, ninja tip here real quick. Oh, I didn't even realize I did that. I didn't even realize
it's
that.
Friday, people.
The voicemail drop will actually show you which numbers received your voicemail. So it will tell you voicemail delivered.
Oh.
So you don't even have to waste your time calling people.
You're screening out all the garbage numbers.
Yeah, and you can screen out the people that text you back and say, I don't live here, wrong number, don't call me,
bleep,
whatever.
bleep, bleep.
Yeah, you can delete those people. You can say, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, got your number third party, or I'm sorry, I'm just working on behalf of my sellers, your neighbor.
Yeah, you know the Colliers,
yeah,
right?
Sorry, my bad. And you can delete them off the list and then just call the people that actually got the voicemail and say, hey, I'm just making sure you received our information about what's happening, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, so you're not going in movie phone and like, hey, were you looking to buy or sell real estate today? You're just saying, hey, we are coming to market and we have it coming soon. It's not active yet. They're doing the finishing touches, but we like to reach out to the neighbors to see if you have anybody who might want to move into your neighborhood, because we're prepping a beautiful home to come to market, and we're taking a poll and kind of surveying the neighbors to see if you know anybody who might want to move in. And that's just a call following up on all the other forms of communication. So that's what we mean by harvesting the crop is, look, you're going through the effort. It's not a lot of time, not a lot of effort, maybe a little bit of budget if you go big on the mailers, but you're following up to get the leads, because somebody might look at that text or voicemail.
Well, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had a light bulb moment. We didn't even mention door knocking, too.
Door knocking.
If you weren't doing postcards, you do door knocking before your open house, and that's one of the biggest ways to get belly to belly with people, and I would definitely not do door knocking before your open houses.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, to heck with postcards, I'm just going to door knock 150 homes. Awesome.
Do that.
And that's where you kind of mix and match what you're doing in terms of activities. But do something. Some people do two things. Some people try to do all of them. But and you look, life gets lifey, right? So if schedules get packed. We also have kids stuff. We got summer stuff. God forbid we go see concerts and go surfing and enjoy the summertime. Yeah. But you can get a lot of this done very time efficient wise, and then time block for the door knocking, time block for the phone calls. The phone calls are the biggest time investment, because you got to go through and it leads to questions, it leads to leads that you have to follow up on. But if we see people that consistently do this strategy of telling the story of their open house or their listing or their coming soon or their buyers, that, to your point, get calls from the postcards, get listings from the calls they make, and they're putting in the work, so the work is working.
Yeah, the work is working. They're doing the activities, they're doing the actions, so they're getting the results, they're getting the feedback. So we really like these stacking of activities. You can mix and match what you want to do, how you want to choose it. But, like you said, when you time block it and you're intentional with it, the only things that really take up that amount of time, because when you think about it, if you are doing postcards, pretty delegatable. If you're using Corfax or if you're using something like that, they already have templates in there. If you're using Vistaprint or if you have a marketing person, they already have their own templates. Delegatable, they send it out, that's done. Door knocking, you probably have to put your time aside for that. So maybe 2 hours aside. So that would be something you'd have to time block for. Mm-hmm. The emails, 20 minutes. 30 minutes at most to do.
That's figuring out the CRM.
You have the same you have the PDF of the postcard that was sent out. You can throw it into chat, Claude, whatever you want to use, create it, have an email for you. 30 minutes there at most. Yeah. Done. Easy. Slide broadcast, hit us up on that. We can help that with you. We can shorten that time frame for you into like 2 minutes. So that is done, and that is easy delegatable. The social media post if you have an assistant or somebody, or if you do it, that can be done in 30 minutes.
And dude, done is better than perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be a work of art. It doesn't have to be Martin Scorsese film. It just needs to be.
Yeah, well, and all of these things like in Meta and Facebook posting and these ad managers, they all have the templates done. All you have to do is throw in the pictures and throw in the caption.
It could be a walkthrough video. It could be you in front of the house.
Yeah.
This is coming soon, guys. Like, it can be anything. Just done is better than perfect. And what if we told you, like, it's like you're on a roulette table, okay? And they tell you, hey, this third of the table is definitely going to hit. So what happened to your likelihood of hitting? It just went way up. That's where we're at in the summer.
Do
That's
that.
so you would pick one of those first thirds of the numbers,
Yeah.
right? And so same thing in the summer. We know that the likelihood of sellers responding to your marketing, to the storytelling that you're doing, is higher. So if you're ever going to pony up and put in the work on telling the story around your listings, your coming soons, your just sold, now is the time, and we can help. We are here to help you.
Yeah, so please hit us up. We love helping with this strategy. We love helping you put together your strategy. And we understand, like we said, it's a la carte. So in some places you'll want to do it all. Some you're like, we'll pick and choose. But we're here to help and guide you through that process. And we are helping a ton of our agents do this at a high level and getting a ton of success with it.
Well, and a great bonus, real quick before we peace out, is you get a whole litany, like a menu of activities to show your seller what you did and the views you got and the calls you got and the emails you got back, like a don't fire me report when it's been on 6 weeks and they're like, hey, how come we don't have any offers? You're like, hey, here's what I've been doing every week. I do this, and the emails and you have a whole list of things to go over with your seller and report to them what you're doing to actually sell their home and get the story out there, which is helpful.
That is so awesome. That's so true. You have like a little activity reports. And once again, keeps you in action, keeps you doing something. And that's something we know we need to do in our jobs, in our industry. So,
well, we're in it together, guys, and we appreciate our role on your team. And just thank you so much. And I'm Ryan.
I'm Haley.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.